Hey. A little bit of autofocus action there. How's everybody on this fine, wait for it, Sunday morning? Surprise. How's everyone doing this fine Sunday? I've got to remember it's Sunday. I'm used to doing this on a Saturday, as we say. But good morning, wherever you are in the world. Maybe it's middle of the day Sunday, or maybe it's already Sunday evening where you are. A little bit like it is for me. It's already Sunday evening. The weekend's nearly over for me. But here we are. We're making sure that we get a creative breakfast in. It's been a few weeks, but I wanted to get in. And yesterday, what happened yesterday? Let's talk about yesterday before we hit the chat and give a few shout-outs, as we always do at the top of the show. Basically, yesterday, I found out earlier in the day, Saturday my time, so it was like probably Friday evening for some of you, that Dee Neman and Daniel Batar were doing their monthly channel review stream at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, I think was the math in my head, which is about 9:30 p.m. my time, which is probably like 15 or so minutes before I usually start my show. So I decided that I would step aside, let them do their thing, and then I'd jump in today instead. And that's what we're doing here today on a Sunday. The Sunday edition, the first ever Sunday edition of the Creator Breakfast. So let's get those shout-outs started. And as you can see, as the new chat comes in, and I need to point correctly, here we go. There we go. That'll fill up the page there as some of the new chats come in. Unfortunately, when this page resets, it doesn't keep the old chat. It just resets the chat. But nevertheless, we shall start the shout-outs before the stream even started. These are the people that came past and said hello. Let's do this with the other camera. How's it going? And we have, my name's James, came through early on after we scheduled the stream. Scully's House of Thrillers. Billy Bob also came past. Dread Baron came past as well. There's a few questions in here which we're going to jump back to in just a second. In the Garden and the Blessings came past. Rich E with a couple of questions coming in. And just before we went live, Michael Sahoski, Handwriting Champion Roblox, and Chatty Cathy. And as we went live, everyone started rolling in. So those that were here said hi. Obviously, we saw Scully and Michael already. Here we are. The hype man himself, Michael Sahoski. Yes. Ben, 88 Ghosts, came in saying hello. Let's see who else is here. Kurt, Manchester United fan, Australia, hashtag Lazy is out. That is getting... That channel name is getting longer every single week. Let's jump back to this one. And who else have we got? Darren's General Info is in the house. And that's everybody. I think we've covered everybody. I'm going to jump back in just a second and hit a couple of questions that came in before the stream. And don't forget that Creator Breakfast is always, 100% always a Q&A stream on top of anything else we might discuss. So make sure at any time you have a question, you drop it in the chat. A Q or a question in front is optional. I can usually tell if the question's for me. But of course, feel free to chat amongst yourselves as well, which is what happens in the chat. And I just realised that I hadn't started the nice little background music there. Let's just put that, let's get that going. Gives me the vibe. Gives me the vibe. All right, I'm going to roll back. Oh, hang on. Paul Peck, Drywall Tube in the house. Welcome, Paul. What about yesterday? What about Saturday, though? That was a live stream marathon. How many of these live streams did you jump past or participate in, or maybe you didn't know? We had, as I mentioned just before, the D and Daniel's channel review stream on the StreamYard channel. That was a lot of fun. They gamified channel reviews, and I am down for that. I'm absolutely down for that. So basically, everybody had equal opportunity to get a channel review, but it wasn't a standard channel review. It was a prize at the end channel review. So what they did is every time they were looking for a channel to select, they had everybody drop the code word, I guess you could say, in the chat. That entered them in the draw. It was randomly chosen by the StreamYard giveaway picker based on the entries. But they didn't just review that channel. They rolled another wheel that had things that they needed to look for, like do they have channel art? Does their channel, are they using pinned comments? Do they have compelling thumbnails? And different things like that. And so they spin the wheel and let the wheel decide what part of the channel they would actually look at and critique and see if it was like basically a pass or a fail. And if you get 3 passes, three ticks, you go into the final draw to win a prize. Or if you got 3 strikes, then you're out and the channel review ended. So it was quite fun. It was very fun. So if you missed that, make sure you go and watch the replay on that. Maybe watch a couple of the channel reviews to get an idea. And I think they're going to keep doing it that way, at least for the foreseeable future, because it was fun. It was fair. Everybody had an equal chance. It wasn't somebody just picking somebody out of the chat or something like that. It was purely random chance. It was great. Then after that at the usual time slot of 9 a.m. Eastern was Nick Nimmin, of course. Nick always follows my show usually. So solid 3.5 hours of YouTube information overload, you could say. I get rather, by the time that show finishes, I get quite fatigued because it's at that point about 2:30 a.m. for me. But it continued. Daryl Eves did his live stream at about 12:30 Eastern time. He had Roberto Blake. I stuck with them for a couple of hours. I think I stuck with them for about 2.5 hours. So for my time, that was 5 a.m. in the morning, and they were still going, answering YouTube questions, giving tips and all that sort of thing. And they were just starting to bring people on to look at their channels. And it was 5 a.m. I had to tap out at that point. So, yeah. So how's that? And I know there was probably other streams on. The Video Influencers stream was on Saturday. Ian Corzine streams on Saturday. So there's a lot of streams. Saturday is like wall-to-wall streams. You know, I think I'm getting pushed out. Or maybe I need to change my day. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, I know chat messages coming in. I'm not seeing them. They're next to my face there on the screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back so I don't forget. And before they disappear out of the chat window, I'm going to hit the questions that I saw come in before the stream, and then I'll try and catch up on the chat. And then we'll just go with the flow. Don't forget, if you've got a question, make sure you drop it in the chat for me. The first question I saw was from Rich E. Rich said, Doug, what's the best computer to get for a beginner like me? I have very little money and a laptop. The laptop I have is a cheap HP model. And then he also follows up with, I really want to start a channel. Also, where can one get stock music for video background? So let's hit the first question first. It's hard to answer a question because firstly, I don't know what sort of content you're going to want to do. So maybe if you're still here, make sure you drop that in the link. Say, hey, I want to do this is the type of content I'm doing, because the type of content is going to dictate maybe the equipment that you need, possibly. Otherwise, I'd say stick with what you've got, depending on the type of content. So that is going to be up in the air for me. If you're going to be a gamer, though, you're very much going to be wanting to spend at least probably $1,000 minimum US, maybe more, because you're going to need a decent computer, something with a graphics card if you're going to do streaming, do gaming content. You're going to need to be able to have a dedicated GPU in that, and they are not cheap at the moment because of the silicon shortage around the world and the way that they're just hard to get. They're just hard to get. Yep, best going for like an older model GPU. In the last 6 months, I've bought two made to order computers for my son and my daughter. And basically they were both for gaming and streaming, and basically I think we paid for both of them around I think the second one, my daughter's, was a little bit less, but it was around the 2,000 Australian dollar mark, so it's probably, what's that, about 1,500 US maybe, give or take. And there wasn't any spectacular specs on that. It was just like solid GPU, and everything else you'd need to, adequately game and stream. So that's all I can say on that. So if there's any specifics about the content, then we might be able to answer that a bit more. Now, the second part was about stock music. Easiest place for free, if free is your thing, is the YouTube audio library, which is in your YouTube studio. If you go in there, YouTube studio, scroll down the left-hand menu, it says YouTube audio library. There's music and sound effects in there. So for free, you can't go wrong. And you're probably pretty much guaranteed not to run into any issues with any of that stuff. Otherwise, you get to the paid stuff, which would be like your Epidemic Sound and your Licked and your Soundstripe and your Artlist and all those, where you've got a monthly subscription or a per-use license for something, say, like Licked. The other thing you can do is go and look at, the sort of the background streaming type music, like Stream Beats, which is available on Spotify, and also, so that's more of the lo-fi sort of stuff. And then you've got something like Backing Track, which is more of the rock and metal background music. So depending on what you want there, they're free to use as well. But you just have to check the licensing on that, how to use those for YouTube videos. But for streaming, they're really good. Now, I am going to scroll down to find out where I had left off on the chat, and then I'll get caught up on the chat. It's the first thing we're going to do. And here we go. Michael Sahoski says, Doug, how can someone contact you away from Creator Breakfast? That's a good question. I think the best way to contact me is, there's a number of ways. Some are better than others, and some might get a quicker answer than others. But I do have a website, which is DougHewsonYT.com, and there's a contact form on there, so that's the first way. So via my website, DougHewsonYT.com. I don't promote it that much. I should promote it more. I should do blog posts based around my videos quite often, and then, go from there. I don't do it like as I put videos out. I go back and maybe write a blog post a little bit later, or if it's on a particular subject, like a YouTube news topic, like shorts or something like that, I'll do like a whole blog post that might cover multiple videos. So yeah, I have a website, and then I have a page out there which is all my recommended tools and resources and things like that. So yeah, website's always a thing in progress. Secondary, I'm on Twitter, so Twitter DMs, I'm sort of open to that. I'm not a big fan of getting DMs from a lot of people, but Twitter, I'm pretty active, and I don't mind Twitter so much. I try not to. I don't really get into Instagram and stuff like that. I am active in Facebook, though, particularly on Facebook groups like the Tube Ritual Facebook group. What are the other public groups I'm in? I moderate for several. Daryl Eves group, I'm a moderator for. I'm moderator for several groups on Facebook. The Tube Ritual, Daryl Eves group, which I can never remember the name. It's like YouTube video and marketers or something or other. I can't remember what he calls it. Then there's the YouTube tricks and tips group, I think, as well, which is sort of Nick Dimmon's, but he's very low-key on that. It's not one that he runs and says, hey, I run this. It's basically just there for people to use. And there's a couple of moderators. I think I'm the main one on that one. That one's not quiet. I don't really recommend that one. If you want an active group, Tube Ritual is the bee's knees. So Facebook, you can get me on Facebook basically through DMs there as well. So if you're on Facebook, DMs Twitter, via my website, which will have a contact form, or you can go by the business email if you want on the on my YouTube about page. That's another way as well. So that's 4 different ways straight away. Website, DougHewsonYT.com, the about page on my YouTube channel, the email there, or Twitter DMs, Facebook as well. That's the long answer. Let's see. Chatty Cathy says she was in Nick and Daryl's live stream and watched Dean Daniels on replay. Yeah, sometimes you have to catch stuff on replay. Paul agrees, and the Dean Daniels live was awesome. It was very fresh. And it was. I like the gamifying things. Remember, before I did this stream a couple of years ago, I was doing the Wake Up Show. So it was like before Nick Nimmon's stream still, but I was doing trivia. I was not doing sort of creator type content Q&A. I was doing trivia. We were having fun. It was fun. Okay, let's keep going here. Handwriting Champion Roblox says, so Doug Hewson YT, do you think OBS or Slobs is better? I've never had any issues using Slobs, so some people say OBS is better. For me personally, I actually, out of the two, I'd probably lean towards OBS just because I find it easier to use, believe it or not. Some people like Slobs because they think that's easier to use. But Streamlabs seem to overcomplicate some of their menus, in my opinion. A lot of them are just icon-based, and if you don't know what the icons mean, you have to sort of figure it out. I think Twitch is a little bit the same way, actually. So if you're a Twitch streamer, you probably really like Slobs. So out of the two, probably OBS. Not that I'm using OBS. I'm not using OBS now. And, you know, the main two ones that I use, Ecamm, which is what I'm using now, and StreamYard. They're the two streaming services I use. But I used to use OBS back in the day. Back in the day, OBS was my jam. Alright, let's see. The new subs mode. The fact that we have the name of who enabled it makes me think mods are getting some stuff to mess with. I have not seen any of that in the wild, so I'm totally in the dark of this subs mode. The way that they described it in some of the documentation when they announced it, I wasn't a fan, and I'm still not a fan until I see it in action. I'm going to reserve my judgment on that one. Michael says, what do Aussies eat for breakfast? If you believe the advertising, Aussie kids are Weet-Bix kids. The Weet-Bix, which are basically biscuits of whole grain wheat, malted whole grain wheat, and yeah, really nice. That's what I eat for breakfast before I go to work because it gives me the energy for the day. So slow release, the low GI, slow release energy. But there's many cereals on the shelf as you would know. Scully agrees. Next is grueling 3 hours. I think last night was about 3.5 hours. It was grueling, and that was after I moderated Dee and Daniel's stream for the hour and a half before that. Handwriting Champion says, I can stream on a Microsoft Surface and record without much frame drop. That's pretty good. Some of the newer Surfaces are probably really good. There's the Surface tablets, and you got your Surface books, which are like your MacBook Pro, MacBook rip-offs. So they have a few different things. But as you know, I'm a Mac guy, so I'm Apple all the way. So yeah, Streambeats Carousel is free, 100% safe. Yeah, for streaming, totally, it's probably the way to go. I'm not sure how it works when you're using it for your pre-recorded content, but I'm sure they have a process. You'd have to probably jump over to their website and check that out. Oh yeah, royalty-free music radio creative, absolutely. They have quite an extensive. I've used some of their stuff, and of course, I'm just having a look on my Stream Deck here. You know, they have a lot of stuff for, which is really handy for like when you're putting like things like live streams and podcasts together. If you're doing like a live radio show, so you can, you know, the sound effects that go with the voiceovers. You know, things like this.
Grab a fresh cup of your favorite morning drop. Creator Breakfast continues.
That's Music Radio Creative. That's a custom jingle that I had made on Free Jingle Friday, which happens every Friday at... Gee, what time do they go? Oh, this time of year, I think it's 8 a.m. Eastern. Depends on the time of year. About 8 a.m. Eastern. This time of year, it's 10 p.m. for me. But on a Friday. But yeah, about 8 a.m. Eastern, they do their show. It's the middle of the day in the UK, of course. They're based in the UK. But yeah, they do jingles. You can submit a script. They'll read the script. If it's a paid-for script, they'll actually put they'll produce it so that it sounds like, you know, the fully produced thing. Which sounds like, you know, something like this.
Stay tuned for more creator tips. It's the Creator Breakfast.
So it's got all the effects on it. So they do that, and they make them on the spot, on the stream, live. So pretty incredible stuff. And you can get just the voiceovers for free, which is why it's called Free Jingle Friday. And they do the produced ones. If you drop a $10 super chat with your script, or submit on the form with you know, a payment, then they'll actually fully produce it. So, you know, you get all the sound effects, all the voice effects. Sounds like a fully produced radio thing. So yeah, Music Radio Creative are really good. That's Mike and Isabella Russell, by the way. It's Peter Dell in the house. Probably been here for a little while that I'm back in the chat here. Let's see. Peter, I knew Peter always comes in with great questions. Doug, when posting a video to Facebook, okay, let's see how we go with this one. Is it best to post from the video, or just copy paste the link? I reckon this is my personal opinion. I reckon if you're gonna post videos to Facebook, like for me, I do share in my Facebook page. Like I have a Doug Hewson YT Facebook page, which nobody looks at because I don't really have a following on Facebook so much, even though I do stuff on groups on Facebook. But I do post my new uploads there as a link to YouTube, only just as a courtesy, because I'm already automating a post to Twitter and to LinkedIn as well. So I do Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And I only just do that out of habit more than anything else. If you actually want to build something on Facebook, or you want to make a go of it on Facebook, then I would actually natively upload to Facebook. So that's something to consider. You know, that's just what I think. If I wanted to actually build something on Facebook, I would actually upload my content to Facebook. I'll edit it slightly differently so it doesn't do all the YouTube calls to action, because, you know, you don't do that on Facebook. There's no subscribe, different things like that. You might say, make sure to follow me on Facebook. That's about all you're going to do. But yeah, I'd consider uploading the content natively to Facebook so it gets its own traction there. Build a community there. That's if you feel you want to put in the time and the effort to build a community on Facebook. Jolly Duck 100 is here. Hello. And hello. There it goes. I can't remember what that's about. Scully's dropping the emojis. Aussie kids love Vegemite. True. Vegemite. My favourite, anytime I eat Vegemite these days, I might cook up some English muffins. Get an English muffin, toast it. I'll butter the English muffin, make it nice and buttery. On one side, I'll put Vegemite. The other side, I'll leave blank. So I'll eat the Vegemite one first, and then the plain one with just butter is like a palate cleanser after eating the Vegemite. So that's how I eat Vegemite. I don't have Vegemite on a lot of stuff. If I'm in the mood, I might make a piece of toast and put Vegemite on it. But I don't eat a lot of Vegemite. I don't eat Vegemite sandwiches that often. It's been probably many, many, many years. That's good to know. Excellent. I'm just wondering how you download the tracks to use them, put them in your video. There's probably a process. I just haven't checked it out. I just know that Stream Beats is good. And I think I'm getting close to the bottom. Peter's got another question, which is always good. If I was to delete, say, 4 of my videos, will I get punished by YouTube as ranking on my other videos? No, not at all. No punishment for deleting your videos. You just won't get any traffic, and those videos, those 4 particular videos won't be a doorway into your channel anymore. So it's sort of 4 less chances to get discovered. That's all it means. So that's the only downside of deleting content is that you don't have those as a doorway into your channel. So yeah, it's not going to affect the performance of other videos directly. It might mean that less people are coming in because they're not. Maybe that person would have come in for that video, it's no longer there, so they don't come into your channel. But if there's a good reason to remove the content, then yeah, delete it. All right. If music is in the Facebook video, forget it. Yeah. Not sure what that's based on, but I know that I have an Epidemic Sound subscription, so my background music is for Epidemic Sound. My YouTube channel, Facebook, I think Twitch, a couple of other platforms, and my podcast are all whitelisted. So I'm able to use that music on those platforms. That is my understanding. I have to check my Epidemic Sound backend just to check that, but I'm pretty sure my Facebook's one of my channels where I can use it. I love English muffins. I do too. English muffins are the basis for one of the tastiest little breakfast snacks you can get, which is called a bacon and egg McMuffin. You get from McDonald's, or the equivalent ones that you might get from, Burger King, or whoever might make a breakfast menu that's, hey, let's just copy McDonald's. But you can make them at home, and they taste just as good, if not better, depending on the ingredients, of course. You got your English muffin, you got your egg, cook it in an egg ring, so it's like the perfect size. A nice piece of freshly cooked bacon, a piece of cheese, put it all together. You don't have to jump in the car and go through the drive-through. You can just, if you've got all the ingredients, away you go. It's like a homemade breakfast. That's like a breakfast without, any other, it's just so good. It's got me thinking of food now, making me hungry. All right, where are we up to? And Chatty Cav said, never heard of Vegemite. Vegemite is basically it's a spread. It's like a yeast extract spread. So it's like Marmite, or what's some other comparable things? Marmite. I think UK has Marmite. I think we have Marmite here as well. That sort of thing. It's like a it's very salty sort of. It's black and it's salty. It's made from. It's got, I think it's vitamin B. It's got some vitamins in it. Vitamin E. It's some sort of vitamins. I've lost track of what it is. But it's black, and it's an acquired taste. Dropbox, Streamlabs, Streamlabs YouTube page, Spotify. Cool. That's the way to do it. Security provided by. Yeah, I missed the credit roll last night because I went over because Nick had started, so I jumped over to Nick's stream as soon as Dan Daniel announced the winner, and was wrapping up. I jumped over to Nick's stream, so I missed the credit roll. I went back and read it today, and I saw that security provided by Doug Hewson YT. So, yeah. Michael says, how do I notify YouTube about permissions and licenses? If you are with a service like, say, Epidemic Sound, who whitelists your channel, then you don't need to, because it's whitelisted. If you're just using something you got a permission for, maybe you've got it in like a document, like a PDF or a Word document or something like that. What I had recommended by a social media lawyer is to put that document in like a Google Drive and then link to it in your description. You can say license to use the track, whatever it's called, and then it's like a Google Drive link to that document. And then so if anybody ever wants to make sure that you have the permissions to use that song, or if YouTube want to check it out, then it's there. They can just go, and it's on their own site. It's on Google because YouTube is owned by Google, so it's on a Google property, and that's how I was recommended to do that if you're getting like a permission in writing or something that is tangible. I know with Licked, you have to copy like a link or a license code and put it in your description. So sometimes if you're with a particular service, it's a subscription or a one-off based license, then they'll give you something that you actually can drop in the description. So that can be identified. So when their bots and AI and the content ID system go past your channel, they see that and they go, okay, yeah, he's got a license for that. So that's all good. We'll continue on. We don't have to, flag this video for a copyright claim. There's the little lady. How's it going? Welcome to the stream, of course. Baking with Charlene is here as well. People coming in as, Sunday morning, I don't expect people to be up super early, but, some people are just early risers. And then some people are in different parts of the world where, been up for hours like me. I've been up for hours. Been up for a few hours. Going to bed at 5 a.m. isn't conducive for getting up early. Put it that way. All right, let's crack on because there's more ads. Not ads. There's no ads. Hopefully, you'll get an ad coming in, but that's it. Well, questions is what I should say. Doug, is it true that the YouTube algorithm picks up the start of the title more than the end of the title if it's a long tail title? Well, they'll read the whole thing. It's the beginning or the first 50 or so characters usually is not for the algorithm. It's actually for the potential audience who comes past. They can read that first part because what happens is when the videos are listed on YouTube, and if the title is longer than say 50 or 60 characters, depending on where on YouTube it is, it gets cut off or truncated. So people only see that first part of the title. So you want that first part of the title to be more meaningful to somebody who is looking for the video and trying to get context as to what the video is about based on the thumbnail and the title. So you're optimizing your title and your positioning of the information in your title for people who are looking for the video, not so much for an algorithm or for like a keyword or a metadata point of view. Although being wherever it is in the title, it's not really going to matter too much. They say to front load everything, but it's mainly for that purpose that I mentioned, is for the person who's looking for the video to understand what the video is about. Everyone's saying hello. Make sure I haven't missed anything here. I must say, I used to love the ham, steak and pineapple at the pancake parlor. When I go to a pancake place, it's if I don't get pancakes and I eat something else and leave, I kick myself afterwards because I haven't had pancakes. I want to have pancakes. Whether it's a savory like a crepe, which I don't usually do. If I'm going to have pancakes, I want the sweet pancake. I want the pancakes with the ice cream or the butter, the maple syrup, You know, all that. I want the whole, you know, the stack of pancakes. Nice, fluffy stack of pancakes. Now I'm getting hungry even more. Somebody make me pancakes, please. Yeah, vitamin B. Yeah, you go B, D, E. It's one of those. They all rhyme. They all rhyme. You have to Google Vegemite. Yeah, that's probably the best way. And you'll get a picture of it. You'll see it's black. It's in a jar. It's usually got a yellow and red label. Okay. Scully says, so if you have 100 characters in the title, then the first 50 don't get interpreted by the algorithm. Oh, no, the algorithm will see it. It's just that because it gets truncated, people who are looking for the video won't see the whole title. That's all it is. That's all it is. Like YouTube will read the whole title. They'll get context. They'll know what it is. They know what it is. They wouldn't give you 100 characters and not read the whole thing. Pancakes with all the fixins. Yep. Why are we talking about food? Please. All right. I've caught up with the chat, so time to reset the stream for just a second and hit a segment that we like to call. What do I like to call this? I don't know what I call this, but let's play that tune. It's a part of the stream where we like to shout out the people who have subscribed publicly to my channel in the last few days. The last 8 public-facing subscribers, of course, courtesy of this nice event widget from Streamlabs. Thank you, Streamlabs. I have a love-hate relationship with Streamlabs, but today, because of this, thank you, Streamlabs. All right. From the top to the bottom, top is the most recent subscriber who has their subscriptions public, of course. If you've subscribed recently and your name's not on the list, that might mean that you got your subscriptions private or you subscribed earlier on before these last 8 or so people have. Any case, if you happen to be one of these 8 people and you're in the stream, make sure you make yourself known in the stream so I can say hey in the chat. But first of all, and this is for the benefit of the replay as well, because you might come past and watch this afterwards. You subscribe and you'll watch it later. So, Stream Trailer, welcome to the channel. Modern Graphics, welcome. Rock Over Graceland, maybe that's an Elvis type channel, maybe, I'm going to guess. Welcome. The Piano Keys, another musical type channel, I guess. Welcome. Natural Life San Diego, welcome. I know Natural Life San Diego left a couple of comments in my on some of my videos. Sweet 68p, welcome. Hunter Schmidt, welcome. And Soma Roy Chowdhury, welcome and thank you for subscribing. That's what I like to say. And let's do this. And this segment is brought to you by all these lovely sponsors that I mentioned at the bottom. Well, they're not sponsors, they're recommended tools. I don't know why I call them sponsored. Why did I call it sponsored? At best, I have affiliate links for all these wonderful services. And
subscribe to Doug Hewson YT for more tech for content creation.
That's how you subscribe and get someone's attention. You subscribe while they're going through their list of subscribers. You add it to the list and you get the widget. Man who likes girls. Okay. It's very clear what you like. Thank you for that. And welcome to the channel. I don't know what I was saying about the tools now, but let's head back to this scene here. Okay, we're on this one now. This is the one where I normally have the countdown to Nimmin Live, but there's no Nimmin Live today because it's Sunday. So I took that off. It's hidden. My little countdown.
Subscribe to Doug Hewson YT for more tech for content
And
creation.
I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know. That's somebody's. It's a static channel. Just sort of welcome. if that's a legit one, or if that's just somebody in the chat dropping a random subscription just to be funny. But either way, welcome. I don't know why I'm still looking at this camera. I'm on this camera now. All right, back to the chat. Let's see if we've got any more questions. No more questions. Just everybody is. You might put some rose in every cheek. That's how the song goes. And Corruption Czar Network is here. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Well, if you've got questions, make sure to drop questions. See, we're still up to date and there's no new questions coming in just yet. Let us jump to the one article we're going to talk about today. And this is a bit of a sneak preview for tomorrow's video that's coming out. It'll be out in 24 hours. Yeah, 24 hours minus 30 minutes. It'll be out in 23 and a half hours. So put that in your schedule. Make sure you click the bell to be notified. The video coming out is going to tell you, this is the headline, this is the highlight of the video. There's other stuff in the video, but this video is going to tell you how to bulk opt out of shorts permissions, or what is now called short sampling. And with that in mind, it's time to look at the YouTube news story of the day.
Stay tuned for Creator News.
All right. I had my YouTube channel open instead of the Tube Filter article. In the past week, you probably noticed that what they have done is announced that they're expanding the Shorts camera to additional countries beyond India and the US, which India's had it since September. The US has had it since March, April. Now they're rolling it out, currently rolling it out from now till the end of the month, to UK, Canada, Latin America, which includes countries like Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Mexico, Colombia, Peru, Venezuela, and other countries as well. Actually, in my video, I have a complete list of all the countries that now have access to Shorts or are getting access to Shorts. Are rolled out this month till the end of June. So that's also my video. Talk about that. My video is all about, not about this article, but it's about some shorts. What's now called? Let's see if I can find it in here. Do they talk about it in here? They do. Just here it says, back in March, YouTube first teased the ability to repurpose sounds from existing videos for Shorts, a key component of TikTok that enables viral bandwagoning. That's a hard word to say, bandwagoning, to thrive. Users can also select a particular sound on TikTok. And TikTok's not really relevant to this. This is confusing by the journalists who wrote this. But we're talking about a YouTube feature, but they're talking about a comparable feature in TikTok. That said, on YouTube, this ability will first roll globally before arriving in the US in coming weeks. It's actually out, and I actually demonstrate it in my video, so that's coming out, so stay tuned for that. I'll show you how to sample from a long form video and pull it in. Bit of an overview. And I'll also, as I mentioned, show you how to opt out of all your videos. So you're not into this whole, hey, I don't want people sampling my audio from my videos. They're going to actually, you can actually opt out now bulk. And I show you how to do it in my video. I won't go into detail here in the stream because, you know, I don't want to spoil the video. I want people to be able to watch the video, get the information, roll it back and watch it again if they don't understand the first time. I visually demonstrate it, so that is really good. And everything's going to be explained in my video, basically. So the interesting thing is there's some clarity also on some of the copyright things. Like, for example, I mentioned this also in the video. What happens is they don't let you sample videos that have copyright claims. So if somebody puts out a video with a song that they're not supposed to be using or whatever, and so it has a copyright claim, that won't be available to sample. So they can't go ahead and sample something that's already copyright claimed by somebody else. So there's opportunity for everybody to be happy, the copyright holders to be happy, and for the content creators to be happy, and for the long form content people to be happy, and for the shorts creators to be happy. I think we should find some sort of happy medium there, but the choice is still there for you that if you don't really want any of your content sampled, that you can turn it off. So that will be in the video. And we'll come back to me. Let's see what's happening in the chat here first of all. Good question. The question of the day is Vegemite is the topic of the day. Is Vegemite available in the US? I believe it is. I'm not sure where, but I know there's places that actually import that for like Australian expats and stuff, so you can pick it up. And I'm looking at the wrong camera. My apologies. So yeah, I don't know where, but I know that you can. I know that you could probably find it if you sort of look around. I'm not sure if it's in like a big chain store like Walmart or whether you have to go somewhere a little bit more niche. I'm not sure. But I do know that they do import it to the US. All right, here we go. Peter's always got the great questions. With the new tax forms we filled out in April and gave our tax file number, our tax IDs basically, do we declare our earnings from when we filled out the forms technically? I was looking into this a little bit, so don't take this as official accounting advice or taxation advice, particularly for here in Australia. I know Peter's here in Australia as well, hence why you mentioned tax file number or TFN. If you're only earning a certain amount of money, you technically don't have to like declare it as income. If it's still like at a hobby level, I don't know what the threshold is on amounts there, but it's actually more than what I thought. Like since I started getting AdSense, I've actually been declaring my AdSense earnings in my tax as part of that, so that would get counted. So I'm not like trying to hide anything from the tax department and like whatever, but I'll take my available deductions at the same time, so if I give it to charity or different things that I can claim in regards to my full-time job where I can claim stuff as well. So I do my usual claims and stuff. But yeah, there's a point where you do have to declare it. I'm not sure where the line is. But because it's at a hobby level, it's sort of like an optional thing. But if you start making significant money out of YouTube, then and it's something that I'm probably going to be looking into in the next 6 months or so is what I need to do. I know in America, a lot of people like to form like what's called an LLC, a limited liability company, or something where it's a separate entity from you as a person. So separate some of your finances for the company versus you, so that there's some protections there from legal things that might happen. In Australia, it's a little bit different. I think you still have to set up like a company and get an Australian business number. It's probably going to be like a sole proprietor type setup. But I need to talk to an accountant about that and getting that set up. Maybe a lawyer. I don't know what the actual process in Australia for that yet, but it's something I'm starting to think about. I don't think I'm quite at that level yet, but I want to be aware so that I'm ready when I get to that point, that I can actually roll it over and it'll be my own company or business, separate from me. At the moment, if I earn something in AdSense, it goes to my personal bank account and I spend it. All right. In the Garden of Blessings, I was talking to Michael, of course. Okay, it's probably the Vegemite. Talking about the Vegemite. Little Crafty Nook is in the house. Welcome to the stream. Oh, we've just been talking about Vegemite and English muffins and different things like that. And been answering Q&A questions, and I rambled on about shorts sampling for a few minutes. So, haven't missed too much. All right. Scrolling down. And I know I can always guarantee trust Peter for some good questions, as I've mentioned several times. What's the significant amount you're talking about is earning $1,000 a month? That's when you start to declare. Yeah, if you're earning that much, I would say you probably want to make sure that you've maybe set up as a business at that point. If you're earning that, you'd have to talk to an accountant, a taxation accountant in particular, maybe someone who's familiar with when you need to either set up as a business and declare tax, or when you declare it personally. So it's like a threshold from when it becomes a hobby to becoming a small business. So there's like a threshold there. And it might not be a monetary value necessarily. There might not be like a fixed saying, if you earn this much in a year, you must, because most people, what the government expects is this: if you're making a little bit of money on your hobby, you're probably putting that money back into your hobby, and so they don't worry about it so much as being this is income that you're, turning into like a Tesla or a Lamborghini or buying a mansion or something, All right. Where are we? Yeah, Michael says the limited liability company protects your personal assets, so there'd be a problem with the business. That's right. I learned most of my American legal stuff from people like Ian Corzine, who's our social media lawyer, has a great channel. So if you ever want to know anything about copyright or fair use, or even anything that's related to social media, being a creator, and legal issues, particularly in the US, then Ian Corzine is your man. So I think our equivalent of a LLC is in Australia is, well, we have different levels of companies, and I think the lowest level one is like a sole proprietor, where it's me acting as a business, but I'm pretty much, I can be a sole proprietor and have a couple of employees, but I'm the sole business owner. And at some point, that levels up to different types of businesses where they're more complex business structures, like a proprietary, which is like a proprietary limited, which is a bit like a limited liability company, a little bit more formal. Benadio Ghost tweeted at you. I'm assuming that's at me, which is interesting. We shall check that out in just a second. I do have my phone set up to receive tweets, and as I mentioned, tweeted at me. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Unless you're talking to someone else. That's it. Yeah, I don't know all the ins and outs of the US version. I just know it's called LLC. Yeah, sole proprietor LLC. That makes sense. But for us Aussies, yeah, it's really weird because I was looking into applying for what the credentials are, what you need to be doing to apply for what's called an Australian business number, where they allocate you like an official number. This is your number that represents you as a business when you're dealing with like the taxation department and government departments and other businesses. I tagged you in it if that does anything. Yeah, is it a hashtag or is it an @? I think I only get it if it's a mention, like an @. If it's like @Doug Hewson YT. And on Twitter, by the way, let's have a look. I'll show you. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. I have this ready to go. Oh. As I mentioned up the top here, if you ever want to reach out, and during the show, if you want to like tweet like a picture of you watching the show or something like that, then make sure you tag me. It's at Doug Hewson YT, no spaces. As you can see there, where I tweeted out at the beginning of the show, just to share out the link with the thumbnail. It's at Doug Hewson YT, no spaces. Boom. Which means that if you at me, then I should go over to my mentions. I should either be showing up in mentions or in a notification generally. So I don't know. I don't have any recent ones there. Last one was 20 hours ago. So yeah, that's the best way to do the Twitter. Yeah, and if you want to, anybody out there, make sure you anytime just drop something in the chat. Make sure you tag me in the message at Doug Hewson YT as written above on Twitter. Here we go. We've just got 25 coffees from Daniel Batal. All right. And let's see. 25 coffees for Daniel Batal. There's a message there. I need to find the message real quick. Actually, let's take this off the screen. I'm getting derailed by Daniel, which is unusual. It's usually D that does the derailing. Here he is. Had to be lurking in the stream to be doing that. Look at that. There he is. It's Daniel. I want to read the message. It's always too small on the screen when it pops up. I need to probably make it bigger for the alert that pops up. Now I gotta jump into to my app and look at the message. It always gets me. I had trouble with this last time. I think it was a Little Crafty Nook dropped me one last time, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. They've put it in here now. With the amount of hours you devote to helping everyone in the community, you're a man who seriously needs a lot more coffee. Absolutely. I think 25 will about do it. 25 coffees. That will keep me going. If I have a coffee a day, that'll keep me going for 25 days. So I think I'll be fueled up for the rest of the month. If I have 2 a day, we'll see how we go. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. It just got me right at that point when I'm just looking at my Twitter and it's like, oh, there's an alert. All right. I need to scroll back because my chat just kept going and I've missed questions. I need to jump back into the questions. Let's see what we got. Here we go. So I want to take 186 videos in my niche, put them in private. My videos are about 10 minutes to 30 minutes that don't get views. I want to try and only make shorts. Ooh, that's interesting. That's an interesting thing to do. I don't know what I'd do in that case. Let's see. Put them in private. So they're still there, so you can bring them back if you want to. Okay, and they're sort of in that longer length between 10 to 30 minutes long. And so you want to pivot to shorts. It might be something that if you want to try it, is to actually maybe make a separate channel for shorts and just experiment to see how the shorts are going to go. Because that's a big change that somebody who's coming to your channel typically looking for long form content between 10 and 30 minutes, and all of a sudden it's all gone and all they're getting are like 15, 30, 45 second up to a minute clips of shorts. So that could be a little jarring for somebody who may be already a regular on your channel, a regular viewer on your channel. So I'd consider how that would affect your current audience. So yeah, that's something something I would probably... That's a big change. Like, if you're one of those people that like, you'd like to go all in. That's like an all-in move for me. It's all in, like wipe the board clean. We're gonna start from scratch. So if you do on your existing channel and you don't see an immediate response, that's like, to me, that's like the reason for that would be the current viewers who are there, who have been on your channel before, start getting suggested maybe these shorter videos, and they're like, oh, what's this? They're like, I don't know. They some of them are going to enjoy it. Some of them are going to be, okay, it's short, piffy, to the point. I like it. Some of them are going to go, no, I came here for the longer videos, or the ones that we used to get. I came for all those. What's going on? So you might see that they're not going to perform the same way as the long form content, because that existing audience is not going to participate in the same manner. So yeah, it's your call, of course. It's your call. But if you want to play it safe, I would go a separate channel for the shorts just to test them out and make sure that you got your rhythm and it's short and it's punchy and sort of meets the requirements that it's actually going to deliver the content in that short, succinct manner that you can do on shorts. Like, if you did it together on the same channel and not remove them, you're giving some choice there. They've still got the long form content and the short form content. But if you're going all in on shorts, yeah, gee, I would consider either, if you want to go all in, play all your cards and go all in. Hey, but I would maybe just leave your current channel as is, and then do a separate shorts channel. That'd be my safe play. That'd be the safe play, in my opinion. All right. Yeah, something I haven't considered before, because I'm just doing casual shorts on my current channel as a complement to my existing content. So, okay, I am. Ben goes, yeah, it's a bit mysterious. If you're going at Doug Hewson YT on Twitter, that should be beeping my Twitter should be going off with notifications. That's what that means. I'm clicking on random ones now. Let's see. Having less than 10 views. The shorts or the long form content? All the subs might unsubscribe because they want longer vids. Yeah, some people are like that when it comes to like if you change your direction. Some people go, no, I'm not into this, I'm unsubscribing. Some people will I just stop watching. Like, I can't tell you how many channels I'm subscribed to, and I don't watch the content that often. There's a few, not like a heap of them, but it's like, yeah, I'm not really into it right now. I might come back and watch it later, and I don't go back and watch it later. So it's like you get the passive or the non-active subscribers, and they're the ones that you sort of have lingering on your channel. They give you a subscriber count, but they're not really helping you with views and watch time cranking on. So yes. All right, back to the chat. I never quite understood why people unsubscribe. I know reasons people might cite, but still, why bother? Yeah, well, that's most people just sort of fall off. But I think there's some people who are very particular. It's like if they take like an exception to the content change or to something you might say, then there might be like a, hey, I'm unsubscribing because I disagree with you fundamentally for some reason. That I can understand that sort of thing may be happening on occasion. But yeah, most people just sort of drop off and forget that they're subscribed to a channel. Like how often, there's probably particular people who might be like an OCD type person who, I'm going to go through my subscription list and I'm going to unsubscribe to all the channels I don't watch anymore. And I know I've considered doing that, and I actually did that recently, but not like a thorough one. It was just like a quick scan. It's like, Oh, they don't do it. They haven't published anything for 2, 3, 4 years. I'm going to remove their subscription just to clean up my subscription list, if not for anything else. Ever thought of having guests on Creator Breakfast? Yeah, I've yes and no. I have given thought about doing some sort of show with guests, but I'm just not sort of. I need to. I feel that if I'm going to have guests, I want to have some be a little bit organised. Maybe have be regular time slot, and I don't know if I want this show to be it or a different show to be it. So it's all those things to take into consideration. I think I've only done guests a couple of times. I think I did one when Copper was like the big ooh la la. I did one with D Nimmin on my channel. We talked about Copper at the time, and it was like big and scary for a lot of people. So it was like a lot of people talking about Copper and were like just what's the word? I'm losing my track of thought. It's quarter to midnight. It's nearly midnight. It's nearly Monday here. We'll probably see you Monday. It'll be Monday here. You guys are just getting up in some parts of the world, and it's nearly Monday here. But yeah. I don't know where my train of thought was going, but yeah, Monday. And Ollie Smith is in the house. I scrolled past you before and forgot to highlight you, but there you are. Welcome to the stream. Organisation, what is that? Absolutely. I want to be somewhat organised. I want to invite someone to a show. I want to be prepared. I don't want to, I feel it would be a bit like I'm going live in half an hour. Who can I get to come on my stream? I want to at least be organised, and there's potentially a lot of people I can ask. I know a lot of people who'd probably be willing to jump on and discuss something. So if I have a pressing topic and I have the perfect person for that, and I do have a couple of people in mind who'd be like dream guests as well. Like, who would I? This may be slightly outside my niche. It's like, I've had D Nimmin on my channel before. I think I've done a couple others where I've had guests on maybe StreamYard. Maybe one time I had Beanie and a couple other people. And I can't remember what we discussed. That was a few years ago now. Back in the early days where it was a little bit more, hey, run a gun and let's go. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I would like to do at some point. I don't know whether it would be in conjunction with a podcast. So it'd be podcasts with guests, which is also a live stream, which a lot of people are doing those sorts of things these days. Or whether it would just be like a separate live stream show where I'd have a guest discuss a topic, answer questions in the chat, the typical thing that you see happening. Yeah, it's something that I am thinking about. It's something that I do want to implement, and I will do that. All right, where am I up to? How's the chat? Michael says, how about Breakfast with Doug? That would be a great show for guests. Yes. Breakfast with Doug. And the other question that's related to that is, what time slot's good? Is it better to do something in the morning US time? Because I know I have a lot of US-based viewers. Also some people in Europe. People here on the west side of the Pacific, like Australia, New Zealand, Asia. Different places like that. We have people probably watching from India, different places as well. So it's like, what's a good time to do a stream? I know a lot of people do streams like this time of the day, sort of the early morning stream, or then you get a lot of people who do it in the US evening time. So for me, that's sort of the time of day when like D Nimmin is doing his streams typically on a Sunday. So later tonight, D Nimmin will be doing his stream at some like mid to late evening. I don't even know what time it is over there, but I know for me it's like, depending on when he starts, it's usually around 11, 10, 11, 12 o'clock in the morning. And I know a lot of people do streams at that time of day, so it's interesting what's a good time for streaming. So I guess it depends on you guys, my particular audience, as to what time's good. This seems to be a reasonable time because people are tuning in, but maybe if I did a stream in the US evening time, I get a whole different group of people. But obviously there'll be crossover as well, so it's interesting. And if I had polls, I could do a poll in the chat right now and see what people are thinking. Okay, what do we got? Work until 7 a.m. PST. 7 a.m. That's interesting. Yeah, it's like a overnight shift. Members are at 4 p.m. PST. Regular stream at 5 p.m. I'm assuming that's D. Yeah. I know his member stream seems to be more rigid on the start time than his regular streams, because I think he does the member streams. They go a little bit longer than what he plans. Then he goes and has a break, has something to eat, and then it's like, when's D coming back? You know, when's he coming back? I'm sort of hanging out for his stream here, especially if it's my day off, which a lot of Mondays, because Monday my time when D streams, even at Sunday night there, it's like, what? Is it, is it my day off? Is it a public holiday? Because a lot of our public holidays are on Mondays. So I have a lot of days off on Mondays and a lot of public holidays on Mondays. And then there's the occasional Monday where I actually work. All right. Yeah, I do. I've for the last couple of months, when I'm setting up my stream and I'm in the YouTube part, doing the YouTube part, I'll just randomly throw on slow mode, like a 20 second or 20, 25, 15 second sort of slow mode. I don't know why, but I just do. It's like I moderate on channels that get hundreds of viewers concurrent that don't have slow mode, but yeah, I put slow mode on. I don't know why. I just like playing with the features. So I checked. I don't have polls yet. I know Nick Dimon had polls on his stream, and they looked like they were actually working. Last time I saw polls in the wild was probably nearly a year ago. It was Mr. Beast, and they were testing the polls for YouTube. And I know I had a chat to Daryl Eves, and he said that they weren't working properly. They were buggy when they were doing that because he was running that live stream in the background. And the polls were falling over. So obviously YouTube fixed that. So that's good. One on Nick's channel, he left one posted, and by the end, it was getting up close to 900 votes. But at any one time, he was only having like 200 to 300 people concurrent. So you can see when you leave something up for like a period of time, like an hour or two, how many people are rotating in and out of a live stream on YouTube. It's really interesting. Very interesting indeed. Okay. The smaller member streams are great. Yeah, they're more, I find them more laid back. Especially if I don't have to moderate. If it's a member stream, I'm a member, and I don't have to moderate, because members generally behave themselves, and you don't have to like time people out and remove comments and stuff. So I always find it, it's refreshing to be in a member stream. YouTube and Facebook keep making changes to polls. Yeah, it's hard to keep up sometimes with the polls. It surprised me that Nick actually had access to polls, because I know that they were doing some testing with some gaming channels. I saw it announced recently, so there were some channels out there that were like in a beta test. But for Nick to have it, I was sort of surprised. So I thought, gee, I better check. Maybe I've got it and I don't know it. Yeah, I believe they did discontinue the polls in the video cards, didn't they? I'm pretty sure that's what they did. I do like them in community tabs. They seem to get the best interaction out of all the different community type posts as the polls from just looking at like a bunch of people's channels. For me, yeah, I think polls is good because it's easy for people to respond. They get like a multiple choice, 1, 2, 3, 4 different answers. And then if I want to add additional information or whatever, they can just drop it in a comment. Like I think I dropped a poll earlier this week. I can't remember what it was about. But that's it. That was really good. I got some really good feedback from that one poll. And it had I think I only had 2 or maybe 3 options at the most. It was about why. That's right. It was about why do you come to my channel and watch content? Is it for me, the personality, or is it for the information? Just a really basic poll, 2 answers. And then if they want to have something different, or if they want to, expand on that answer, that they should drop a comment. And I guess I did get I'm not getting a huge amount of feedback, but the feedback I got was really good. It was really valuable. So, yeah, community tab for the win. I should do a video on community tab at some point. Can't wait. Yeah, community tab's a good feature. It's like me. I've had it for a while. I don't use it enough as I should, and I'm trying to fix that. And I'm often posting updates. I'm using it for updates. That's why I usually post like an image and then an update with some information, like I did a day and a half ago about the Saturday stream, the move to Sunday for this stream. I talked about all that, and I actually linked out to the other streams. Not sure how much reach that got because I had links to other channels in there, but I dropped that one. Now, supposedly you're supposed to be able to put multiple images in a post now. I don't think that's the case on desktop. I think it must be like on mobile. I haven't seen it in the wild myself, so that's interesting. Eileen might know a little bit more about that. And the question that comes up, and I understand why it comes up because I know a lot of people are into that. When are you doing channel reviews? I want to do it as a dedicated stream. I know at the beginning of the year I tried to do it as, hey, on the first Saturday of the month I'm going to do Creator Breakfast as channel reviews. But the biggest issue with that is I only run for a set amount of time for about an hour before Nick Demon's stream. So I don't have a lot of time to get through a lot of channels or to look at a lot of channels. So I prefer if I could make a set time for that, and then I could spend a little longer than an hour just looking at channels, because usually people don't mind it if it goes an hour and a half, 2 hours. And that seems like a good time frame for those sorts of things, where you can get through enough channels. It's not too long, and after a while, solo live streaming will tire you out. If I sit here for hours, I'll start to lose my train of thought, especially when it's my evening and I'm already probably somewhat tired or a little bit tired. I'm going to get fatigued really quick. Going to need one of those 25 coffees. You know what I mean? So I am looking for a time slot, and I want to commit to that. So once I find a time slot I can commit to, then I will put that in there. And I'll probably want to see if I can do it once a month as a rule, if not more often. But I think once a month might be good, just because I still need to make videos. I still have a full-time job. I want to be able to do all the other different things as well. So if you have suggestions for time slots for doing maybe a channel review thing once a month, or at a particular time of the month, a particular day of the week, a particular time of the day, then just let me know in a comment somewhere on my channel where I can see it. Just drop it somewhere. Ideas are always welcome, because sometimes it might spark something. Go, oh, hey, yeah, that's a great idea. I didn't think of that. I never see community posts are a funny thing. People don't always see them, and I don't always see people I follow's community posts either. If I don't go to the homepage and see them listed there, ones from the last 3, 4, 5 days, sometimes I don't see them. I don't always look through the subscription feed on my phone to see them in the feed, and they don't show them to you in the feed on desktop. And I watch videos on my iPad quite a lot, and they don't show up on the iPad, so I don't see them there. I only see them on desktop on the homepage and not in the subscription feed. And then iPhone is probably the third most used. Actually, that's probably the fourth most least used place I watch YouTube videos is my phone. Believe it or not, I don't watch a lot of videos out and about. I watch them on my iPad mostly because it's a bigger screen. I watch them on desktop if I'm at my computer. I'll occasionally watch stuff on Apple TV on the YouTube app if I'm if I'm watching TV in the lounge room and I flick it over to YouTube. And then occasionally I might look at a few things here and there on my iPhone. Although I do scroll through stuff in YouTube on my iPhone, but I'm not watching a lot of content. So I'm not scrolling through the subscription feed constantly on my iPhone where I would see a community feed, a community post. So yeah, it's interesting how different viewing habits might preclude you from some content. Because for what unfathomable reason, YouTube still don't have the community stuff in the iPad. Like, why aren't community posts on the iPad? How long's the community feed, community tab been available on YouTube? It's been years. I don't know. It's really strange. It's a really strange decision. All right. A lot of coffee. Absolutely. Last night for me, that was an overnight shift. That was like up till 5 a.m. 2 p.m. Pacific time. Let me do the math. Gee. I think 2 p.m. Pacific is... Why try and do it in my head when I can check on my phone? Okay, Los Angeles is Pacific time, and that is minus 17 hours. So if I add 17 hours... Is that 9 a.m.? Am I doing my math right? 17 plus 2. Oh, I'm doing my math wrong. How about we do this? No, because Alexa doesn't tell me that. Probably easier if I just open up a tab in Chrome. Okay. This is how I do it at work. Go to a website. Time zone converter. 2 p.m. Pacific is... Okay, we're going to pick a city in the US. Change it to 2. Which is 1400, 2 p.m. Add Brisbane down under. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. So yeah, 2 p.m. Pacific is 7 a.m. my time, which I thought it was in early morning, so I knew that was sort of ballpark. So 7 a.m. Yeah, that's actually when I get up to go to work. It's about 7 a.m. So there we go. Seven a.m. Yeah, 7 a.m. 7 a.m. And yeah, because that would be that Eastern time. That would be 7 a.m. our time. That's like what's that? What's the difference between Pacific and Eastern? Is that 3 hours or 4 hours? So I'd just add. If it's 2 p.m., then I'd just add 3 or 4 hours. That's 5 or 6. 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern. Actually, this time of year, 9 a.m. here is 7 Eastern. So that'd be about 5. 3 hours difference. There we go. 3 hours difference. Doing math. Why am I doing math at midnight? Why am I doing math at midnight? Somebody tell me why I'm doing math at midnight. And Serenity Journey's in the house. Welcome, welcome. Make sure if you've got any questions, drop them in the chat. I feel like I'm somewhat rambling at this point. So if you have a question, let me know. Don't forget, I have my next videos coming out in just under 24 hours. So that would be Monday morning, Monday evening my time, but Monday morning US time should be coming out about the time I started this stream, give or take a few minutes, around the so that would be what, 8:30 Eastern. So at 8:30, between 8:30 and 9 Eastern, my video should be coming out tomorrow. All about shorts, short sampling, update, follow up to some of my other videos. The key main part of the video that most people I think would be interested in is how to bulk opt out of shorts sampling, or what used to be called shorts permissions. So make sure to check that out when that comes out. That'll be out. So make sure that if you don't have notifications turned on, make sure you ring the bell. Subscribe, of course, and then ring the bell if you're not subscribed already. And then ring the bell. And that video, hopefully YouTube will say, hey, Doug's got a video, come and watch it. So that's coming out tomorrow. So I'm trying to get back on track. But the last couple of weeks, as you probably noticed, I didn't live stream last week or the week before. So it's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks of not live streaming. And then the week before that, I did live stream. So it was like late May when I live streamed last. This is my first stream in June. And it's already, what, the 14th? It's 14th now, because it's now Monday. It's now 12:03 a.m. It's Monday morning here. And people are just getting up in the US. It's only Sunday over there. The time zones do your head in. They do. They do mine in sometimes. But yeah. The last few weeks, it's been a bit of a rut, to be honest, content creation wise. So, you get into those ruts. Sometimes you just don't have the inspiration, or you just feel flat. Sometimes when you feel flat, you're better off just not trying to make content unless you have to. So I just try to make sure I do other work behind the scenes to get things ticking over. I think about a week ago, I was feeling like just not with it. Like it got to Saturday night, and I just didn't feel like live streaming. I love live streaming, and I didn't feel like live streaming. And I really probably should have pushed through and live streamed, but I didn't. But what I did is I filled my time doing other things. I started building assets for my asset store. Like at the moment, at that time I was working on some countdown clocks or countdown timers for live streams, or whatever else you want to use them for. But they're just videos you play. They've got a clock that counts down. So started building those assets and uploading them to my asset store, which once I've got a few more things on there, we'll start pushing them out. And that also doubles. I've got a couple of merch items on there as well. It's through Sellfy, basically. So if you ever want to know more about Sellfy, just hit me up at some point. I can share some details on that. But Sellfy seems to be a good place to host digital assets, stuff for people to purchase or get for free and then download. I think a couple of months ago when I did the video on countdown clocks, actually it was last year. It was like probably late last year. I was doing a video on StreamYard and doing countdown clocks, and we're talking about places you could get assets from. And I gave everybody who wanted one a free, and it's in that video, the link's still in that video, a free 1 minute countdown clock if they wanted to do like a real super basic one. So that's still a free item. That's still out there. People a couple of people made themselves took advantage of that, I should say. So make sure, if you're into that sort of thing, if you do live stream and you're looking for countdown clocks, if you have a particular length in mind, let me know. Most of the ones I've posted so far have just been short 1 minute ones, because I don't believe in super long countdowns, but I understand people need countdown clocks or want to use countdown clocks when they start the show. Hey, I even start the show with a countdown clock. So, if there's something that people have in mind, I'm happy to put some of those assets together and make them available on my asset store. So I'm trying to build that out. I'm trying to make assets as well that would be like cross-compatible, whether you're using, Filmora or Camtasia or Final Cut, like a video file that's, cross-platform or cross, it's not like a special template that you can only use in Adobe Premiere Pro or a motion templates that you can only use in Final Cut. I'm trying to make stuff that's available that anybody can use. It's an MOV or an MP3 or different not MP3, that's audio, MP4, all those different assets. So there's some of the things I like to work on the side that is on the building a business, building income side that I do if I'm not doing content. So sometimes you can turn your lack of motivation for doing content into maybe doing other things around your channel. I do that similar sort of things, like I might go and write a blog post on my website rather than making another video because I don't have a video idea, or there's nothing that I'm feeling right now to do. That's the sort of thing we do. Anyway, if you have any more questions, make sure to drop them in the chat right now. I think this will be the final call for questions today. I know the chat has slowed right down. So holler at me if you have any final questions. We'll do what is called at the pub a final call. So final call. Let me hit that. Final call for your questions. I'll give everyone about a minute to, if they have any final questions, to drop them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll start wrapping things up. Let people get on with their wonderful Sundays. Wherever you are, make sure you have a great Sunday, by the way. We're expecting some great weather here for the next week. It's cool, but it's sunny, which is good. Christina Smallhorn is in the house. It's always good to see Christina. Christina, I got to hang out with Christina at Vid Summit 2019, along with anybody else in the chat? Paul Peck, of course. Daniel Batal was there. Who else was there that I hung out with? I'm trying to see who else was here. I think Paul, Daniel, Christina, a bunch of other people got to hang out at Vid Summit. I'm sort of bummed that I'm not going to get to go to Vid Summit this year because we just can't travel. I know a lot within the US you guys can travel, and I'm great. That's great. I'm grateful that you guys can get out and do that stuff now. We can freely travel within the country here, but we can't travel overseas at the moment. And if we somehow got a flight and could, then there's obviously other obstacles, and plus the cost is prohibitive right now. I know I was talking to Beanie, who was looking up flights to go to Vid Summit because he didn't have a ticket, and it's just a lot of extra money, like compared to what we paid 2 years ago to go. It's ridiculous. So I'm looking forward to when everything is back to normal, so we can travel from different parts of the world freely to go to places like Vid Summit. So if you are in the US and you haven't been to Vid Summit, then I'd seriously consider it. I believe they're capping the from what Daryl was saying on his stream yesterday, they are capping the amount of people that can go. I think he said 1,500, and he believes that because they've already got pre-bookings carried over from previous events that didn't happen because of COVID, and he believes that once they start pushing it, it's going to sell quickly. So if you do have, or you are considering going to VidSummit, make sure that you go and check it out, vidsummit.com, and get in there. So I didn't know why am I talking about VidSummit? I'm not even getting paid to promote VidSummit. I just recommend it highly. So there he is. There's Paul Peck. He's still lurking in the chat, which is good. Paul's a great supporter of the community, as is Christina, of course. Where are we? Everyone's saying hi to each other. So yeah, I think there's no more questions. So that's like last call. Gave the opportunity for the questions. So I want to thank everyone for coming past, unless there's any final questions get dropped in while I'm rambling for the last couple of minutes. Oh, okay. Note for the future, once it hits midnight my time, don't stream anymore. That's the plan. It's been good to catch up. It's good to be back in the saddle. I'm glad that I actually, instead of just saying, oh, I'm not streaming on Saturday because Dean Daniel was streaming about the time I normally stream, I will instead stream on Sunday. I am glad I made that decision because we had some fun. We answered some good questions and be able to just connect again. It's been a few weeks since we've connected. So appreciate everybody for coming past today. Anything show up? I will give it one last look. Ben88 Ghosts. Let me jump into the Twitter.
Thank you for the super chat.
And we have a last minute super chat. Christina Smallhorn with the 99-cent super sticker. A white unicorn with a rainbow hair. I'm looking at it in person on my iPad. There it is. Yes. Nice. And Streamlabs still calls it a super chat. Good on you, Streamlabs. Also, appreciate that, Christina. Okay, I'm looking for, I can see... Oh, I'm in the mentions. Eileen Smith shared the... Here we go. Let's jump over. There it is. Eileen shared the stream. Thank you, Eileen, for sharing the stream. Retweeted the stream. Shared the stream. All the above. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it, Ben88 Ghosts. I'm just in my general feed now. It's not coming up in my mentions. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal with that is. So, I will keep looking at that after the stream, see if I can find that. I will do that. Let's jump back to here. Here we go. And thank you very much. Thank you very much. Last minute super sticker. It's always appreciated. And I think that's a final call. No more questions are coming in. They have slowed down. And we're not going to linger any longer. I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a great Sunday. A great finish to your weekend. And for me, I'm going to go relax. Maybe watch a bit of TV. And then head to bed. Because it is already midnight here. And Monday is a day where I like to get things done. And I know Dee Nimmin will be probably streaming later Sunday evening US time, which is my Monday morning. When I wake up, Dee will be ready to go with his members stream, I'm sure, so I'll be there. And hope to see you if you're a member on Dee Nimmin's channel. Hope to see you there later today. Or on his regular stream, I'll probably see you there if you like to frequent Dee Nimmin's weekly live stream. So I'll see you there. And then wherever I run into you on a live stream somewhere this week, or on Facebook, or wherever I might run into you on social media, this is Doug, and I will catch you later.
Stay tuned for Nimmin Live right after the stream. Nick will answer your YouTube questions live.
Except not this week. That was yesterday. No Nimmin Live. Bye.